In Pursuit of Love.
Yes. Our new podcast.
Yes.
I'm the host, Ashley Jamil.
Tim Knight.
I am Precious Thomas, co-host.
Hostesses.
Co-host.
We are your hosts.
All right. So, ladies, what are we talking about today?
We might as well go ahead and talk about it because everybody else is talking about it.
This is true.
Kevin Samuels.
I think I'll take a sip on
Yeah.
that.
Take a sip. When we get in this discussion.
Yeah, but we're definitely gonna have some fun with you guys. You know, it's a great discussion that needs to take place. You know, male-female relationships. So,
Yes.
You know, our goal is to give our opinions. You know, we're not professional, but we have some great opinions and insight we want to share with you guys, and hopefully you guys interact with us as well.
Yes.
So, Kevin Samuels.
Woo.
Now, Vivica Fox recently just said that was his karma.
Ooh.
So, yeah, what do you think about that? And because, she's not the only person who has mentioned that, this is kind of what he gets. What he's been saying to, I guess, black females over 35.
Well, first of all, Tim, let's talk about what happened to Kevin. For people who don't know who Kevin Samuels is, can we kind of discuss that first and then kind of get into it?
Yeah, if you don't know who Kevin Samuels is, it's a bigger problem.
Right.
But I guess he's I guess he calls himself Dr. Kevin Samuels.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess, he's a guy with an opinion, just like, everyone else. We all have opinions. He has some strong views, I guess, when it comes to women and how they act and how it impacts their ability to date certain type of men. So
Yeah.
If I was to sum him up, I would say that.
Yeah. And I have to say, Precious is the one who actually introduced me to Kevin Samuels.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, "Hey, you gotta see this guy. He just be telling women off, and he, just go ahead and look at it." And that's okay. Let me take a look. So I would look, a couple shows. It was pretty good, but I didn't like the things he was saying to women. I just did not like it. So after a while, I think I listened about a couple months, and after that, I was like, I'm over him. I just didn't like the things he was saying to women.
I'll reserve my comment. But now here's
some things.
Now, was it his delivery, or are you saying that everything he had to say was completely wrong?
No, it was a delivery in which the way he said it.
So, do you like the truth wrapped up in a bow tie and presented to you? Or do you want somebody to give it to you straight and raw?
I mean, give it to me straight and raw, but there's a way to say things without coming off as you are being arrogant and just there's a way to say things. What do you think, Precious? Like what? I should take a sip.
Well,
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of things that he was saying because, I have brothers and I talk about this a lot with my brothers, situations between men and women. And even with my own personal experiences, dealing with men and hearing about the trauma that they go through, the fact that no women smile, I was very surprised about that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, me and my friend, actually like one of my best friends, we always smile, have a good time. So when we heard, they was like, what, for real? So he kind of helped me see things from a different perspective because I was in my own little world. I'm thinking everybody smiling, happy. At one point I'm like, it's the man. And then when Kevin came out and did, his thing, I was like, okay, so it's both sides. So he really helped me see things a little bit differently.
Yeah. Certain things I would agree with, but then I think for me, it was just the delivery of how he would say it. So, but I did agree, like you said, with the smiling and the way a woman should, present herself as far as like her weight and things like that, and what men are attracted to. So, yeah.
So here's a question. So kind of piggybacking off of the delivery, do you think that if you would have took a different approach, do you think, number one, he would have gotten this kind of notoriety? Do you think people would have even taken notice? Because I'm sure there's got to be some guys that saying positive messages out there towards women, but we don't know their name.
That's true.
So I think some of that is for shock value. Some of that could be because he's probably, after talking to maybe, thousands of women, it probably gets old.
Yeah.
And, you're arguing with, it's like the same conversation. It is the same person, just a different face.
Different face.
And it's not really penetrating, the point that he's trying to get across.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just my thought on it. Yeah.
Yeah, some people receive it better that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about with the thought of him passing away. You know, rest in peace. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of nasty comments. People are making on YouTube about him. What do y'all think about that?
I think it's a little extra. I wouldn't wish death on anybody.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then mock him and make fun of him being dead. I mean, it's just a little too much.
Yeah.
And what does that say about you as a person? Like, you know, he vocalized his opinion that you did not have to tune in for.
Right.
But to wish death on somebody because you feel, well, number one, also too, as they say, like a hit dog hollers.
Ooh.
Right? So if it doesn't apply to you,
right.
You know, how did you get to a place that you have such animosity that you wishing death upon this man?
Yeah.
Is he saying things? If you have a 6-figure man and you happy and content with your life, then why entertain this type of nonsense?
Right. Right.
And he said it too. He was like, yeah, the women who this is not for, they don't even watch my show.
Right.
He said it all the time. Like, that's right, Kevin.
Honey, I watched them a few months and I said, this is not me. So exactly. I don't know why I'm looking at this is not me, honey. Yeah. Because I used to tune in just to look at some of the shows he would call smoke shows where he just give you a chance to call in and kind of give your, you know, just talk about how you felt about something he said. And, you know, so I would just be, I just crack up kikiing at those. But after a while, I was like, this is not for me. I think maybe 3 or 4 months I was done with it, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I think, and that's kind of cool too, because obviously, even though he had an opinion, he allowed other people to voice their opinions.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, it's true. But like, at least he had, I guess, what you call a smoke show. So it's one thing if like you're just saying one thing, it's just this, and you never give an opportunity to hear from the other side or to get feedback.
Yes.
So.
Because he welcomed the disagreements. And anybody who was in agreement with him, he's like, okay, thank you. I don't want anybody disagreeing with me right now. I only want disagreements.
Right.
So he welcomed that.
Yeah. Who else does that? Normally when people have an opinion, they speak from that opinion only, and they definitely don't want to entertain no one else's thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So I give them credit for that.
Yeah.
So question. Okay. Let's say you're 35.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was going to say something else, but I have to be somewhat sensitive.
Yes.
Let's just say
you have 2 ladies in beside you.
Yeah, let me see how I can word this for our audience. Well, you know what? Let's say, because this piggybacks into a bigger issue, right? Because you have like Lizzo.
Okay.
Let's talk about that, because I guess a good majority of the women that call in, which keyword call in,
right?
For the foolishness.
Yeah.
If it's foolishness. What would you say to somebody that is, you know, I guess not in the best condition physically that they need to be for their health? Because of course there's different, you can be healthy at any size to some degree, but majority of his comments were dedicated to women of a certain size, certain age,
certain amount of kids.
Yeah. I mean, are these factors that really play into whether or not you're going to get a 6-figure man and or any man?
You know, sometimes that does happen, because I mean, I've seen where you have others. Are you saying as far as like celebrity women or just regular?
Just the average
ordinary
woman.
Okay.
Right, because it seems like, and I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong, but you know, sometimes, and I guess to his point, a lot of women that's calling are not necessarily famous, just regular women. And it's like you're living up or trying to live up to a standard that celebrity women have as options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference between what Cardi B can do and all these other, you know, women with money and prestige. It's different. But if you're the average woman going to work, living a, you know, average life, is it possible that you could be bypassing the average guy? You know, that you know what I mean, that could actually benefit your situation in your life. You know, it's like, are you surpassing these dudes that, you know, is in your, I guess as he called it, your bracket, sexual market value?
Yeah, right.
Right. You know what I mean? So so these are like things to think about. So I think ultimately, and I could be wrong, like I said, but what if that was the point he was trying to get across? Like your sexual market value.
Yeah.
This is where you need to be, and you're looking up here. But you need to be right around here and find your brother and y'all come together.
And that's what he used to say.
Right.
You know, for those particular women.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I don't see nothing wrong with that because I never heard of the term high value, any of that until he came on the scene.
Yeah.
And I never understood why women wanted, you know, a man that makes all that money anyway, because he's not really gonna have the time to be with you.
No.
And his focus and attention is gonna be on everything and everybody else. So I just never understood that concept anyway. I'm like, I'm a security guard. What's up? You know?
Security brothers.
Guard.
Yes. Okay. You're a good guy, good heart. You know. But I never really understood why women go for the guy that's all the way up there anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's talk about that. What makes you high value in terms of a man? I don't really like that term, high value.
I don't either.
Man.
I don't like that term.
Yeah. I guess you could say high earning man.
Okay.
But just because you earn X amount of dollars in salary doesn't mean that you have values.
Right.
Or have any type of, moral stability to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really like that term, high value man. I just think that, I guess if you want the elite of the elite in terms of finances, that does call for a different type of woman.
Right. Right.
So
what would you prefer instead of high value man?
A quality man, a good quality man, high quality man. There we go.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't like
quality.
that term either. High value man.
Because it diminishes like the average everyday man that's working a 9 to 5,
hard,
that's taking care of responsibility, take care of children, everything.
Family,
do what you need to do. So you may not be at 6 figures, but does that make you less of a man?
Right.
If you gainfully employed and you ain't killing nobody.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah.
So to piggyback on what you said about going back to Vivica, so what do y'all think about that? Again, when she said that, what did you say she said, Tim? That she
It was his karma.
It was his karma.
Yeah,
because I mean, for me, I felt like I really disagreed when he would tell women, well, I'm just letting you know you left your husband. That's why you gonna die alone. Or because you get plus size, you gonna die alone. That's the only part I really disagree with him telling somebody they're gonna die alone. And then look what happened. He died alone. So I just, a lot of times when you keep speaking things like that, it'll turn around and come back on you. So that may be what she meant by that, possibly. But that's kind of where I got from it with all this. You gonna die. I don't know. He's told so many women that I can't even count how many women he's told you gonna die alone. And I would just be like, why do you keep saying that every time I was watching the episode?
Yeah.
And it's just
That's interesting. What we do, your life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Right.
So you either pronouncing blessings on people or you're pronouncing curses.
Yeah.
But that's only if you are in agreement with it. Just like, I guess like people do voodoo, witchcraft, different things like that. If you believe it, right? So same time you put yourself in position to receive a curse by calling in. So it's like taking accountability of what you're doing with your time.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a man on YouTube to give you validation, you already on the wrong track.
Right.
Like you calling in, asking opinions of somebody that doesn't know you or your situation for advice.
And you already know how the show works.
Exactly. you know what it is.
You know what they're gonna say to you, like.
Exactly.
So why keep calling in?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody should wish karma or say this is what he gets or any of that stuff. I don't agree with that.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
But it's crazy how it happened. I mean, I still don't know what exactly happened. So
it's all so sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a combination of Red Bull, the gas station Viagra.
Ooh.
This is allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
No, that's what they said, and then they said he was on like, this is hearsay.
Right.
I wasn't in.
You don't have the facts.
Right. Some have rumored that he was on cocaine. So you got cocaine, you got Red Bull, you got
Viagra.
Or some in other circles might say this could be some type of ritualistic type of thing. Getting into something, a whole nother level of things. But
I wonder how the people who actually followed him, like the guys who were like, yeah, that's right, blah, blah, blah. I wonder how they feel now that their leader kind of fell in this way. You know what I mean?
Wow, leader.
Oh,
and I did the quotes because a lot of guys were on there like, yeah, they all started coming out once Kevin, did his show. They all felt more confident, like, yeah, that's right, Kevin, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm so with Kevin. And now that this has happened to him, I wonder how those guys feel.
They're going to carry on the mission.
Yeah.
Pick up the torch.
Okay.
And next week,
Yeah.
I'll be on here. I'll be taking Kevin Samuel's place. Talking crap.
Wow.
No. But, no, well, you know, but at the same time, I guess if you look at it from the male perspective, especially the black male perspective, what other voice do we have that's actually being heard? Now, granted, it is
That's true.
not for the best of circumstances, but anything that we do gets exploited that's not in the best light.
Right,
Just like from the music to everything else. They blow up black men for all the wrong reasons. So this was somebody that, I guess I would have to say a voice to the voiceless, because you don't ever really hear the black male's perspective when it comes to relationships and women.
Right.
So
I agree.
granted, this wasn't the best representative necessarily, but it was a voice that was getting some traction. And
right. Yeah, like I think he had 1 million followers or something like that.
Yeah.
Followers.
Yeah.
So who's to say that his message could have changed down the line? Now, if he's got the attention, he's got enough eyes on him. What if he brought it on home with a positive message, you know, of togetherness, let's, you know, try to unify the family. And if you think about it, by encouraging women to find like-minded men coming together, that is building the family.
Yeah.
Instead of you seeking for something that's out of your reach.
Yeah.
If you embrace what's within your grasp, maybe we can keep some families together.
Yeah, you know, and he actually also had little dating, I guess, pools, right, Precious, like that, where he would have like-minded men, like-minded women, and you know, you gonna get in, I guess, if he say you were, I guess, qualified, I guess, and like on Facebook groups and all that. So,
I mean, the message was good, and I'm glad that it got a lot of men to speak out more. I just don't like the energy that was behind it.
Right.
That's the only thing that I hope doesn't continue to carry on, because if you just, all it takes is one person to reach one woman, and then it's like a domino effect. Sometimes that's really all you need is just that one effect, not a huge platform like YouTube. But some people may not have the ability or the skills to do a whole YouTube channel, but they have a lot of sisters and female cousins in their family. They can just start with their own family.
But don't, I mean, but as black folk, do we really take notice of messages that are not like in your face? Don't, you know what I mean? You know, like in general,
no.
I mean,
No.
I'm just saying, like, don't you have to get our attention, like, to make us pay? He got our attention. You know?
And most of the time, you know, there's some drama involved. You know, we're gonna turn our heads a little bit just to see what's going on.
Exactly.
But does that, in a healthy way, fix things, or does that cause more pain?
It causes conversation.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's conversation. Hence, we're talking about it now. You know, so we're, and that's kind of I believe, the building blocks to success in any type of relationship is conversation. Yeah. Because I guess, you know, a boyfriend and girlfriend could sit down and talk about this. Well, what do you think about this? So maybe before you didn't know how to address certain things, but maybe this kind of gives you, you know, some backbone to say things.
I mean, but can we be honest? It's really those kind of women.
What's those kind of
women? What's those kind of women?
304s.
You know, the ones that's combative and not going to sit down and have this conversation with you.
Right.
Those are really the women he was trying to get through. Yeah. And more than likely, they're not going to take the time to sit down and say, hey, how was your day? Or what do you think about this? No. They're not going to do that. So what other means or entertainment or whatever can we do to like speak to those women? If we can. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're gonna die alone.
Damn. See what I'm saying, y'all? Don't listen to him. You're not gonna die alone, ladies.
You don't listen, you're gonna die alone.
I'm telling you. Well, you know, and also to piggyback on that too, it was something else I heard today. I think I sent it to you on Instagram. I meant to send it to you too. Okay. And it was Pastor Jamal Bryant was talking about how he had a GoFundMe. Like they have a GoFundMe account for Kevin Samuels. Yeah. They were like, oh, you know, the simple fact he doesn't have his affairs in order, but yet he's trying to give all this advice. But they said he didn't have a will or anything, and they had to do a GoFundMe. So what do you think about that? Like, I'm like, I have to agree. Like, what?
Well, that is shocking. But go ahead.
Why don't you have your affairs in order, bruh?
That's what I'm saying. People are following this person, but they don't really know who they're following.
Well, it's two sides of that. I believe it's possible. Yeah, I mean, he has some high value suits on. So unless they was rented. No,
Right.
but I'll speak to both ends of it. On the one hand, it's
Mhm.
possible that he may have had funds in different accounts because his whole situation with his ex-wife. So maybe they're not
Okay.
able to readily access accounts.
That's true.
Because people do kind of maneuver and finagle things
That's true.
when you don't want somebody else's hand in your business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one aspect of it, because I do believe that he had some money, because if he's out here dating and, he obviously picking chicks up at the bar.
Yeah, and I would see him shopping at Louis Vuitton
Yeah.
at Phipps Plaza and stuff.
Yeah, so either that's a whole bunch of credit being used, not to say that a lot of folks don't put on this facade, but with 1.4 million followers, I think he had some money.
Right.
Now, whether he spent it all to give the illusion of having money, that's one aspect of it. On the other hand, if he did have affairs in order, then that's horrible, because he, by definition, would not be a high value man.
Thank you, because you would have your
If that's the
affairs.
case.
If that's the case,
If
I
that's the
agree.
case.
But you're right though, because when my grandmother passed, in 2020, they were saying how, like, when she left my mom as the primary beneficiary, and so but my grandmother didn't put her on her bank account as far as like where she can get the money when she passed. So we had to go through all this different red tape trying to get to her account. So that's why, it's not just as black people, it's anybody. You need to always have your affairs in order, because like you said with Kevin Samuels, he could have different accounts. Just so he can keep everybody's hands out of his pocket, but he should have put people's name on it in case something like this happened, which you just did. So,
shameless plug. I sell insurance, insure10k.com. So make sure that your affairs are in order,
Yes.
so that you're not putting together a GoFundMe. And that really does
Sad.
look horrible.
yeah.
So I hope, that's why I created that first scenario in my mind,
Yeah.
that maybe he has money elsewhere, because that would be extremely horrible.
Yeah.
To have, talk this lifestyle and have a GoFundMe. I would like, just put me in the box, because I just don't want people to know that I need a GoFundMe.
Right.
That would be embarrassing.
Just cremate me.
Just burn me up.
That's how I feel.
Burn me up.
Yeah, 'cause I just, you had a certain legacy, and now it's like kind of tarnished. 'Cause it's like, he didn't have it. What? But every time I turn around, he would be at Phipps Play. I'm telling you, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna sit filming this. I'm gonna sit. So it's sad. So
yeah, very unexpected for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that the female had anything to do with it? There's speculation about that.
I'm gonna be honest. My little theory was that maybe they just got so tired of Kevin, the way he was, coming off to women. Just allegedly, my own opinion. I think that maybe
a little something.
Something was placed in the drink, because then he said he had a heart attack, right? So I mean, they have all type of drugs these days, but I don't know.
And she wasn't black, right?
I don't know.
Oh,
I think she was, I guess, Spanish.
Yeah, I just keep thinking. I just keep seeing like somebody putting some in his drink. So that's my theory on it. So
it's a possibility.
Yeah. What do you think, Tim?
Do you think, that's kind of an odd scenario anyway. Like, does he seem like the type that's out picking up chicks at the bar? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah? He seem like the type? Oh, really? Yeah?
I mean, he probably has somebody do it for him. Maybe.
No.
You've seen Kevin Samuels coming, hey, baby, listen.
Yes, I think that, yes. Because he's very outspoken.
Yeah. And what type of woman would, considering, I guess he's had a lot of love, hate. I don't know, is he loved more than he's hated? I don't really know. But what does that say about a woman that would talk to him? Like, if he came up to you, you having a drink, whatever, would y'all talk to him?
No.
Knowing what you know about him?
No.
Even as Kevin Samuels, big money, big pocket Kevin Samuels?
No.
No? What he's like, you look like a high quality woman.
I don't give a dang. Let me tell you, because some of the shows too, like I would see, like when he do the smoke shows, they would call in. You're supposed to call in and give your disagreement.
Right.
If he didn't like what you were saying, he would be like, he would say something like, B, she'll say whatever to him. She's like, you gay. He'll be like, B, get your fat off my, hang up on her. And then talk about her like a dog for 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. And then say, next caller. Wow. I would not date him.
Yeah, I didn't watch too many of those shows, but they're kind of, that's very suspect in of itself.
Right.
Going back and forth.
Right, it's a disagreement show, so why
like
you doing all that? Right.
But to that I don't agree with. It's more
you
like
would call
a
her
female
name
trait to be,
right.
kind of, that
going back and forth, right?
situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, Precious, you said you would date him. That's what you said.
I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I would not.
He know you didn't say that.
Right. I know.
He know you
But
didn't
I
say
just
that.
find it interesting how all of this, attack towards the black woman when the woman that was with Kevin that night wasn't black.
Exactly.
That's the thing that kind of gets to me. Like, you have all this hatred. I think it was hatred. It was something there towards the black woman in such a way that you would like talk about her like a dog and do all this stuff towards her. But the person that was around when you died, we don't know what happened, was not black. So.
Well, what if it wasn't? Well, maybe he's trying to help y'all. I'm not trying to date y'all. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help y'all. Y'all need some help.
That could be.
Now, I ain't gonna mess with you.
I mean,
but I'm gonna give you some advice. Maybe that's where he was thinking.
And I accepted his advice because I was in agreement with him on a lot of stuff. Like, stop being so combative, stop being so masculine. Smile, be more feminine. I was in agreement with a whole lot of his, what he was saying. It was just like Ashley said, it was just how he delivered it.
Right.
So had he dressed it up better, you would have accepted his message?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, strong medicine. Can we get the message? Like, if it's not how we want it, are we able to see past that? And what's the point? What's the root? Can we still accept the message even if it's not dressed up how we like it?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, it depends on the woman too, because he was talking to a specific type of woman that does all that combative stuff. So she's used to some man talking to her like that, and she was able to get it. I'm not used to that. I don't do all that. So you have to talk to me in such a way where it's very calm. You can still be direct and say how you feel, but you ain't gonna be yelling at me and hitting the balls.
Calling me out my name.
You're not gonna be doing all that.
Yeah.
That's some news for you both. That man doesn't exist. No.
Well,
we're gonna be single, okay?
You know what? Hey, we are gonna wrap up.
We out these dating streets, okay?
Listen, we are gonna wrap up this first episode, guys. That's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to In Pursuit of Love.
Yes.
Until next time.
Bye.
See you later.
See ya.